It's actually kind of interesting how Meet Kevin has returned to YouTube. I was actually just thinking the other day, when will we see Meet Kevin again? Because honestly, based on his YouTube video titled Leaving YouTube, he left some clues in there. A lot of clues that I think a lot of folks missed out on really hearing the message that he was delivering, besides forming an opinion or kind of judging him for some of the things that he's done or they expected him to do. But he's back. And not only did he come back yesterday, he posted another video today, and Meet Kevin is revealing more information about his upcoming business plan, his renovation or his real estate business, and the future of Meet Kevin and his empire, growing his financial portfolio, increasing his net worth. And, it's a great time to do it. Fortunately for him, he's made a ton of money on YouTube over the last 3 years. And he's also made a ton of money in real estate. He's made a ton of money in stocks. So Meet Kevin is on his way to just becoming he's already a multimillionaire, but possibly, getting into the billionaire category, the billionaire boys club, basically, as he continues pushing and redefining himself and just growing and never settling and continuously pushing and pushing and pushing. So Meet Kevin's back. I'm going to be keeping an eye on Meet Kevin and the future videos that he unleashes or uploads and publishes to YouTube. Very interested to see how this goes, especially now that Meet Kevin, if you guys haven't noticed, Meet Kevin actually is now he is legally a financial advisor. He made a community post about this, and that actually raises an eyebrows, a little bit of concern for the information that Meet Kevin is planning on sharing on YouTube, and what can he actually share now that he holds this prestigious title of an actual financial advisor. Because depending on what he does and how it could potentially have an effect on stocks, stock prices, company valuations, etc., that could be bad for Meet Kevin. So we're going to wait and see how that plays out. But not everyone is in the same boat as Meet Kevin. There are some folks out there that are in trouble financially, and they're a little worried, they're a little scared, they don't know what to do. And I actually came across an email today as I was scrolling through my inbox and just replying to folks and checking on things and just making sure I'm doing my best to stay current with everybody. Number one, thank you to everyone who sends emails with information and headlines and updates. Thank you from Texas for the pictures of Walmart. I'm going to try to include that in a future video soon to show some of those empty shelves and those shortages. But thank you guys so much for communicating and engaging and supporting the channel and helping the family. I really do appreciate it. I think everybody else appreciates it. I'm gonna speak for everyone else in the comments, watching, subscribers, viewers. I think they really do appreciate it. But I came across an email, and I'm gonna make this quick because it's getting kind of dark out here. And I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see me much longer, but it was basically a situation. And basically it comes down to my vehicle, my car is actually, I'm behind on my payments. And I feel as though the repo man is coming to repossess my car very soon. And, it comes down to paying my car note or feeding my family. Paying my car note or paying my rent. Paying my car note or, having insurance. There's so many other factors. There's so many other expenses. There's so many other obligations and necessities that there's not enough money to go around, that folks are now having to make the tough decisions on where to allocate their funds and still get by. This may be a little bit better so you can see me, so it's not completely dark, completely black. But yeah, the folks are out there, they're struggling, they're trying to divvy up the money that they have coming in with these increasing expenses of what's going out. But these are problems that we knew we were going to soon face, especially as the banks were basically allowing non-qualified loans. They had non-qualified loans on overpriced automobiles, overpriced vehicles, overpriced trucks, Ford, Chevy, GMC, Lexus, Mercedes, Acura. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. Ram, Dodge, it didn't matter what it was. There was an opportunity in the automotive industry for the auto dealers, the car dealers, to take advantage of a situation. You got to remember, this is back when there was a shortage of new vehicles. There was a shortage of inventory, and dealers were basically begging folks to sell them their vehicles, their used cars and trucks, over what they were worth to then resell for even more. And then the banks were going along with it as they were driving up these fictitious values. But ultimately, at the end of the day, here we are, fast forward 2-3 years later, and now you got folks out there upside down underwater on vehicles that they can't afford. Inflation is taking a hit on them. It's hurting them, hurting their pockets, and they have to make a judgment call. And there's some folks out there. There's been reports that car, vehicle repossessions have been up in certain cities. And honestly, I think that more than likely the reason why the numbers are as low as they are, despite them being on an incline, is the fact that there's so many out there that have to be repossessed. There aren't enough repossession companies to do it. So honestly, if you feel as though that you're at risk, if you're on the list, then more than likely they're coming. It's just there's so many in line in the queue ahead of you that it's just going to take them a little while to get to you. But I don't think it's going to be a pass. I don't think it's just going to be, I don't think it's going to be a situation where you can just continuously not pay, not make payments, and get away with it. I think they're coming. And part of that is also, you got to think, if you are already delinquent, if you've already received notices from the bank of what's to come, then you got to be careful with what you do after that, because you wouldn't want to throw money. You wouldn't want to throw any money at it that won't actually allow you to keep the vehicle. See what I'm saying? So, but if you're in this situation, or if you know anyone in this situation, we need to have a talk, because we are going to see increased pressure from the banks. We're going to see increased pressure from lenders. We're going to see increased pressure from credit card companies. We're going to see increased pressure from everyone who's owed money, because things are getting tight. The Fed's not pumping money into the economy like they were a couple years ago. Inflation's on the rise. Interest rates are going up, and things are getting tight. Companies are focusing on their bottom lines. Those that are losing profit, they're not going to allow that to continue to happen. And the ones that are making extreme profit are going to keep that up and possibly try to increase that beyond what they're already doing. So these are just signs. These are just indications of what's to come. But these are the early stages, okay? So all I can say is that beyond today, beyond this point, it's probably going to get a lot tougher, a lot worse than where we are today. So if you haven't already, you may want to make sure your finances are in order. Start hammering down on your budget. Maybe start doing some cash stuffing, and trying to reduce expenses where you can, and also make sure that you can retain your assets as best you can, protect them, keep your vehicle so you can maintain a reliable form of transportation, get to work, earn your income. And you may even use it for your income. You may be use your vehicle for reimbursed company expense. You may use it for gig work. You may use it for ride sharing, Uber Eats, Walmart Spark, who knows? So these are going to be very, very important. And the key to remember is that, the last thing you want to do is lose a vehicle through a repossession, because it's going to just destroy your credit. It's going to ruin your credit worthiness. It's going to be very tough, damn near impossible to get another auto loan anytime soon. And to replace it, the car values are still up. They haven't dropped yet. They're coming down, but they're still up. So then it would cost you more to replace it, which would have to be a buy here, pay here, extremely high interest rate financing, all cash, who knows what. So it's going to get tough. And I do expect to see the car values come down. I'm actually watching some desirable vehicles, prices come down. These vehicles are more considered luxuries than necessities, and sports cars, exotic cars that people were, going out buying left and right because times were good, when money was flowing and the money printer was turned on. And now I'm starting to see inventory sit. I'm starting to see more inventory hit the market, increasing the supply while demand is decreasing, driving down the price, because the scarcity is being eliminated. But that's a little bit separate circumstance compared to folks out there who are just trying to maintain and trying to hang on to what they got. So if that's you, then I would make sure, number one, you communicate with your lender and make sure that you do all you can to avoid any possible repossession, delinquency, default, anything negative that, basically breach of contract, to try to do your best to keep it, maybe even work out some form of restructured payment plan. But repossessions are up. Auto repossessions are at great risk. And if you are asking yourself, what should I do versus pay my car note versus pay for food, pay my car note versus pay for rent, if you're having this question, this struggle, this battle, this contemplation of where is your money going to go, then we probably need to have another conversation on how to increase your income, and on top of reducing your expenses and adjusting your budget so that these are no longer problems. But you guys know how to contact me. You know how to reach me. The link's in the description. The programs are still available. It's actually a Lexus, what's that, GX 460. That's highly desirable, that SUV. And I think those prices are actually starting to come down too. I actually spoke to a buddy of mine. He works at Costco and up in Atlanta, and we were talking about what could happen with the railroad worker strike shutdown. And actually, we were in, what store was it? I think it was Walmart, or maybe it was Target. I can't remember. Down here in Florida, and I just like to ask questions, because we were at a restaurant earlier today, and this restaurant said that they had seating capacity for 450, which was huge here. But he also said that our server, Douglas, told us that there was no issue there with the staff, with waiters, with servers, with any of that. Like, people wanted to work there, But, as we go around, we have these conversations, we talk about business, we talk about the economy, we talk about the supply chain, so that I can bring you guys real boots on the ground information from so many different perspectives in different industries. But speaking to some of these folks at Costco and Walmart and Target, they are seriously concerned about the impacts that they're going to see as a result of a railroad worker strike, and some of the truck drivers and what they're going to see as far as increased demand for the freight to be moved. But where the rate's going to be, is it going to be worth it? And if it's not worth it, then some of these truck drivers probably aren't going to take the load, so it's not really going to help the situation. It's just going to compound the situation. And then basically these employees, these workers, these lower level associates are like afraid. The management, they're afraid of, are they going to still have a job? Like, if there's no supply, are they still going to have a job? And already on top of negative forecasts and negative outlooks for the holiday season, it's just there's a lot that's actually coming to fruition now. It seems like it's coming to fruition now that we've been talking about, and these cycles are turning over. And we had a lot, not a live stream, but it was an interview with Matt up in it was Ohio, and he was giving his take and his opinion and his experience in the in middle management and retail, and all this is true. Now granted, some of you folks may work somewhere that's an exception, and I'm glad you do. I'm glad you guys got great careers, but for a majority of folks out there, this is about to get ugly. And avoid having to make the tough decision of, do I pay my car note, or do I buy Thanksgiving dinner for my family? Do I pay my car note, or am I going to be able to buy Christmas gifts for the kids? Because the holiday season is approaching, and I'm expecting for it to be a little bit tough, a little bit rougher for most, because of what's going on in the economy, what's going on with the railroad strike, which we're getting new developments on the railroad strike. Information from BNSF employees, or actually it was Rail Crew Express, and he said that the BNSF employees, workers, already received their picket signs, their strike signs. And then another email came through, or comment came through, that Union Pacific has provided information for the workers on how to go on strike, I believe Tuesday or Wednesday. And Norfolk Southern's already planning their shutdown, they're ratcheting down in preparation. So it's not a matter of if, it's really a matter of when. But these are all going to have impacts and effects on your finances, on the supply chain, on business, on jobs, job loss, income. We got a lot that is coming that we've been talking about for a long time. we've been talking about for a long time. And I know for a fact I've been talking to you guys about this railroad worker union strike issue for at least 2 months now. So, hopefully you guys have been preparing for this and are ready for what's happening. Maybe, fingers crossed, we get a resolution before shit hits the fan. But perhaps, maybe worst case, we do have a shutdown. We do have a supply chain disruption. But maybe the Biden administration, the Presidential Emergency Board, Congress can step in and sort things out relatively quickly. But these are things we got to be cognizant of, focused on, paying attention to, and planning for, so that we don't get caught blindsided, and we have a plan of action for if and when it does occur. But you guys know how to reach me, and I'm going to be continuing to bring you guys more financial updates and more videos too for the group members who are interested in growing their YouTube channels. I just dropped another one not too long ago on a very, 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 very important and somewhat secretive subject that I think a lot of you are going to want to know more about. Going to want to go check that out. I'll put the link in the description and probably put it as a card up here in the video too, so you can click that and you can get straight to it. But either way, let's talk about this. Let's get this money right. Let's get finances in order. Let's get budgets hammered down. Let's get credit, maintain credit. Let's improve credit scores. Let's be ready so that when this economic cycle turns over and we're going to have discounts in the market, we're going to have discounts on exotic cars, we're going to have discounts on luxury cars, we're going to have discounts on real estate, we're going to have discounts on income properties. We're ready to capitalize and jump on these deals for pennies on the dollar to get what we want, and also build up our portfolios and our financial net worth for future growth and future success. Because just look at Meet Kevin. Meet Kevin, for example. Although the economy may be bad, although the stock market may be bad, although the housing market may be bad for some, it's not bad for all. And if you've watched Meet Kevin, if you know anything about it, if you've seen him, you've seen his constant escalation throughout. So it just kind of proves that this is possible for anybody. If you guys want to work for it, if you guys want to be smart and work hard and be dedicated towards improvement and growing and increasing your wealth, earning more money, and going after those things you want. So just let me know. I'll bring you guys another update real soon. You guys be safe. Take care. See you soon.